Hi everyone. Happy, what day is it? Thursday. First week of the year. It's all a blur. Sam here. Very excited about our Instagram Live guest today. Middle school me is freaking out, first of all. But she is an icon. She is a legend. Avril Lavigne is going to be joining us to chat any minute now because, do I really need to even say it? She has so much going on right now. We love the song Bite Me. Album coming soon, and we are going to get the info on all of it. So feel free to show your love, your comments, your questions as we're chatting. And first Instagram Live of the year. Here we go. I'm excited. Glad you guys are here with me, all 60 of you. And 62 and growing. Definitely when I announced this, lots of love for Avril Lavigne, and I'm super, super pumped about that. I think we always get some new followers too. So welcome, Avril fans, to 97X, Tampa Bay's new alternative. How's everyone's year going so far? Is it going good? Like I said, mine's been a little bit of a blur. The first week is a little crazy. But this is a great way to kick off 2022 for 97X. That is for sure. I'm just going to check in here and make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. Beards and vinyl. Hey, Sam. Hey. Jennifer Journey's so excited. Me too. Welcome, Olivia. This is awesome. I added a ring light to my studio, so I'm even brighter than normal by my window. Hope you noticed. Probably didn't. All right, if you're just jumping on, just to recap what we're doing here today, Avril Lavigne is going to talk to us. I know. Oh, I'm so excited. This is awesome. She's like such a girl power icon, like, especially for me growing up, because I grew up when like Britney and Christina and all that was what you were supposed to be doing, and I'm certainly not that. So love Avril Lavigne. What? Oh. Excited for you guys to be here. Do you have any questions for me before we start about what we got going on for the year? Love to chat about it. Of course, we're still all on the high from NBT, which was a little over a month ago. I don't know when that high will ever end. Probably never. It was so amazing. Alrighty. Ooh, 83 people. What's up, guys? Sam, 97X. Whoop, whoop. I loved reading all your questions. Thank you guys all for the amazing input for this today. Lots to talk about. That is for sure. Her album Let Go turns 20 this year. Isn't that crazy? So crazy. All right. I don't know why if I'm not seeing. Oh, I had to do that. It got all messed up. Okay, here we go. Oh, there she is.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm like, how does this thing work?
No, and then I think I missed it. So we're good. We're here. We're live. Thank you so much for taking some time for us today.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
So we're 97X. We're in Tampa. My name is Sam, and we are just so excited about everything you have going on right now. Congrats, by the way. New Year's Eve performance was amazing.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun. I was super excited to perform on the Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve this year. Performed Bite Me with Travis, played with me, and just like I had like a cool band, and I played Skater Boy as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. I've seen you've done a couple of those TV like, I think, was it Ellen I saw, or one of them?
Yes.
Is it fun getting out there and doing all that stuff again when you're pumping up an album?
Yep, back into a promo cycle right now. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, so it's like late night and morning TV and performing the song Bite Me, that's the first single, and shooting videos and getting back into the swing of things. Yes, very exciting.
And we're here for it. Well, we love Bite Me. Playing the hell out of it for you.
Thank you.
And we're excited about the album. But I do have to mention, I can't believe Let Go is 20 years old this year, right? 2022.
Yes, this year. Crazy.
Happy birthday to that incredible moment.
Yeah.
So I would have to ask, like, 20 years ago, you versus 20 years now, going through all this, writing an album, what is the biggest thing that is different for you?
Um, well, I mean, like I'm a totally different person, like from 20 years ago than I am now. Like I've gone through so much. And like with like that album, I wish it was like my first album, and they say like you have your whole life to write your first record, which I definitely spent a lot of time making that record, and I had to work with like a crop of different writers, and like was like kind of trying to find myself, but at the same time I think there was like a lot of opinions and people had their ideas of what they thought I was, but like I was like, no, I want to write songs, and I had to really push for that. And so finally, like I met with like people I clicked with, and so and then like an album like this one, I made this over the pandemic. I worked with people who like really understood me. It's like obviously I know myself more now, and this one was just like working with friends and just like so much fun. But the first album took a long time. Like it took like a full year. Well, that's actually kind of normal, a year, but like it was a year of just like kind of like starting to write. Like I started writing songs when I was like 14, and then I was like 16, I don't know, like really young, and then put the first album out when I was 17. So it's just like finding my way really with everything.
I can't, and doing all of that at such a young age too, I can't imagine. I mean, just trying to like go through normal high school and normal life at that time is very confusing and there's a lot of pressure. So
Yeah,
I can't imagine being in your shoes then.
like I was just thinking that like in general, like when you're like younger in your high school, you're like trying to figure out who you are, and it's like there is a lot of pressures, like what are you going to be in life, like what direction are you going to? It was like that for me, but with music.
Well, it worked out. It worked
Yeah,
out great.
and thank God, because I dropped out of high school and I took a chance, and I was definitely like making that record, like thinking like, oh God, this better work. Because I don't want to go back to school.
Well, it definitely worked. And well, I guess I would say, I mean, now you have all of this, you have social media. Does that make it more difficult or easier in the album like promotion process? Is it more stressful?
Yeah, like it's like so funny because like on my first few records, like the social media like wasn't a thing, right? So I'll tell you what I like about it. If you need to say something, like you have a platform and you can tell people directly from like your mouth to the fans. Like if you ever
Mhm.
had to like get a message out there, you can immediately talk to people. It's also just a really great way to connect and have like a more personal and close and like relationship with the fans and interact directly with them, which I like. And yeah, I use mine just like basically like for it's nice to be able to like post the music and show people what I'm doing in my life.
It is fun for that, us to watch all this kind of develop. And then, I think the first song we were playing was Flames with Modson, and that was kind of before you had announced anything major. And it was kind of cool to watch that develop on social media and then also hear the music. And then we heard Bite Me, and we just fell in love. I think it's got such a like girl power anthem that we need sometimes, like more music that is just about us being like the badass women we are. So we're super pumped about it.
Thank you.
So how did the album process this time? Where did it all start? You said you wrote it during the pandemic. Was there a catalyst moment that you were like, all right, I'm doing this?
Yeah, like the pandemic hit, my tour, the Head Above Water tour, got canceled. And basically I was at home, and I had talked to Travis. Travis had started working with MGK, and they put out his album, and I was like so stoked to see alternative music like taking off, and like pop punk kind of like having like people rediscovering it and really appreciating it. And so like my friends in that scene, just like seeing them like do so well, and I was talking to Travis, and he's like, what are you doing, like let's get in, let's work. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then like I talked to Maud's son, and like he introduced me to John Feldman, and we all started working. And so basically all of us started working on my album together.
And, not having that pressure of like touring or anything during that time, that had to have made it more fun because you're really just hanging out. And it's not like we could all do anything really.
Yeah, like I had a lot of time to write, and then I did, and then normally I would have been done. And then there was just so much more time. I was like, okay, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
And all these other artists that like I worked, like my album's coming out like end of February, and like I have like a bunch of different features on the record, the most I have had before. But it was like also everyone was in town, so it was like, hey, you want to come like want to write and meet up?
Are you bored?
Everybody was around, so it was like, and like everyone's kind of like in this scene is just like we're all like friends. I've known like all these guys for like a while, and so yeah, this whole album was cool, a lot of fun.
Now you mentioned that like incredible resurgence of pop punk we're having right now, which is so fun to be a part of. Is there anything like in your conversations with other people that you feel like you attribute it to? Or are we all just emo kids again?
It's like cool to meet some of these new artists, and like they tell me that like my music's had like an impact on them or inspired them, or they wouldn't be where they were today without my music. And that's surreal. Because I've always just been doing my thing, making music. But like to hear that, that's dope. And it's really cool just to see this genre with like alternative, emo, pop punk, whatever music, like people really appreciating it, and it becoming kind of like more popular than ever right now. I mean, to me it's always been popular, but it's like there's like a newer generation like discovering this alternative music, and it's nice to see that.
Definitely. And it's such a fun, the shows are so fun. We can't wait to see you live again. It's definitely a fun genre, and I think we're all just equally like excited that it's back.
Yeah. And like I'm excited like in this time in music also just to have made like this album with these really cool people. It's like I mean it's probably my most alternative record from front to back, and it's like tons of pop punk songs, and like Travis Barker is like playing drums on some of the songs and like produced on some of them, and like and that's cool because like for me, like obviously I listened to bands like Blink-182 in high school and when I was a teenager, and it's like music's cyclical, and it's like we've got like all these dope collaborations of like people who were around in the beginning and like newer artists now, and like everyone, like I just did a collaboration with Willow Smith, like I sing a song on her album, and it's just fun because everyone's just collaborating with everybody.
Yeah, it's cool to watch. I mean, we see it starting to happen, and it's like, I look at what we're playing and I'm like, oh, he's on this song and she's on this song, and it's really cool.
It's nice to see like the gap between the newer generation and the older generation, and then like people collaborating together and people like rediscovering that music from before, and like and it having like another like wave right now where people like where it's like popular again, and to be hearing like live guitars and live drums, like again.
So who you mentioned Machine Gun Kelly, and I think I read maybe you're with Black Bear on a song. Was there a collaboration that was the most fun to make, or maybe that was the most surprising, like you had a really cool experience?
Yeah, I have a song with MGK, and I'm really excited about that one. And that was super fun because I met him at We the Kings concert, and I had worked with like Travis Clark on the album before. And so like we met and like we were all talking about like doing a song together. And then when I was finally in the studio, like it worked out great. Like um, he came by with Maud and Feldy and I, and we all just like worked on this song together. And yeah, and it's been great to see what like he's done in his career and how he's evolved, and like he's crushing super hard right now. So yeah, I'm stoked for our collaboration together.
Well, yeah, that'll be a fun one to hear. We've been loving Machine Gun Kelly's development here at 97X. So the past 2 years, we're playing a lot of that. And I want to talk about Monson for a minute because I know that that's been like such a working special relationship. And otherwise, where did you guys initially meet?
Um, well, like I had been talking with him. I discovered him through his song Karma, and we were talking, and I was like, "Who did you work with this? Like, who did you write? Who produced this?" And he was like, "I wrote it with John Feldman." I was like, "This shit's good." Um, and then we were just naturally like, "All right, let's write together." And so we got together, and we were going to start writing, and then he introduced me to John Feldman, and then we made a whole record.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, we just had Matson played our festival in December, next big thing, and he opened with Karma. And we had been playing the song, so I was like really excited to hear it live.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs, and this is again what I love about this genre. It is just so fun to scream and like jump to. That is just the best. And so is Bite Me. Like everything going on right now, we are here for it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love the song, and definitely when I heard that, I was like, "All right, this is cool. Who did you work with?" Yeah, for sure. Definitely, and like I'm so excited. Like with my record, the whole album is like that. It's like it's just full of attitude and angst, and it's like super rock and roll. And I'm just looking forward to taking this album out on tour on the road this year, and to get going and to play live shows because that's what I love to do the most.
Yes, you're headed. You have the tour in Canada with Grandson and Matson, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about the new songs are you most excited to like perform? Is there a specific one?
Like I'll play some like a bunch of songs from this album, and just like the spirit of this record. Overall the energy is like super fun because we had a blast making it, and you can tell, and everything about it's just been like a vibe. And so like I'll play like new songs and old songs, and yeah, I'm just excited. I think that this is what the fans probably want from me right now. Like my last album was like introspective. It was very emotional. It was like kind of heavy. And like this album is just like fun. It's like light. It has an empowering message on it though. Like songs like Bite Me, it's about like taking back your power, like knowing your self-worth, like not letting like someone walk all over you. And like that theme is on this entire album, which I love and I think is important. And like with my songwriting, like I do am aware that like, there's people listening to this, and I always do want to have a good empowering message. So the album's anthemic, and I think the tour will have that feel.
That's awesome. Well, we can't wait for it. And I love that that's kind of the message behind your album. But for me, even as a fan, you have always sort of represented that for so many girls. Because like when I'm 32, so when I was in like late middle school, high school, watching you, I was in like the Britney Christina era. And then what you were doing was so different. I felt like it kind of gave a voice to like girls who weren't like that. So I just love that that's kind of carried through. I mean, that you're all about, being different, empowering girls, and we can't wait to see it live, hear the album. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, like I feel like this album is like a love letter to women, and it's about like self-empowerment and just like voicing what you want and like not letting someone mess with you. And I think like as like you get older, you have a lot more experiences and more perspectives, and like I have that now at this point in my life. And um, you know, I think when it comes to like a woman in music, one thing that's changed for me is I have a much easier time saying like yes or no to things, whether it's personal or professional. I have a much better like sense of like who I am and the things that matter to me. And yeah, but excited to be releasing new music and to for the full year ahead.
It's going to be great. And you said end of February we will get the album?
End of February is the album. Bite Me's out now and touring this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking some time with us today. We will always be here for you, and we're excited about everything you've got going on.
Thank you so much for the support.
Of course. All right. Bye, Avril.
Bye.